G'day folks, Sloth here back again. I uploaded a video earlier about I was just reacting to the changes on beta this week really, and I wasn't really that focused on Hunter, so let's just this is the Hunter changes, okay? Let's have a look. Right. New talent is, we've got we've had some class talent swaps around. BlackRock Munitions, damage of explosive shot increased by 8%. It's another damage talent been put in. This has been done basically to keep the balance of damage talents the same because we've had Death Chakram removed. Okay, so let's keep reading. A new talent, Implosive Trap, hurls a fire trap to the location that explodes when an enemy approaches, causes fire damage and knocking all enemies up. Up, people. Not away, but up. Limit 1, it's a choice node with explosive trap. Okay, this is an AoE stop and knock up. Just keep all this in mind and we'll have a look at the tree in a minute. Territorial Instincts has been redesigned. It no longer stuns 3 targets. Gate 2 has been changed around a lot. Concussive Shot and Wilderness Medicine now connect down to Scare Beast, and Scout's Instinct, new connections, and Steel Trap and Death Chakram have been removed. Right, let's have a quick look at the class tree right now. So we've got some vertical lines now here connecting Wilderness Medicine and Scout's Instinct, and Concussive Shot and Scare Beast. And Scare Beast and Scout's Instinct have been swapped place. So there's more connections to these two and they're in a different place. These changes are good. We've had BlackRock Munitions added. We have had Territorial Instinct stunning 3 targets taken away, but it now reduces the cooldown. Is this new? Reduces the cooldown of Intimidation. We've had a few other things changed around. Okay, so most of this is the same, but this area has been changed around a bit. Scrappy has swapped places with Bursting Shot, and Kindling has swapped places as well. Kindling Flare has swapped places with Quick Load. They are over here now, and Bursting Shot is now a choice node with Scatter Shot, not Scatter Shot has moved to here, and Quick Load resets the cooldown of Bursting Shot and Scatter Shot every 25 seconds if they fall below 40%. So this now works with both of these, and these are put here as a knock away or a stop. Very cool. Okay, that's fine. I'm sure that maybe some PvP people will be annoyed with that, but that works over here. That hasn't changed. Binding Shackles, it says 10% less damage. Was it 10% before? Was it always 10%? I feel like that's a buff. Anyway, so Scrappy and Kindling Fire are over here. And then that's the main, and then obviously High Explosive Trap is no longer with Scatter Shot, and that actually replaces Death Chakrams, which has disappeared. And now this in the middle is High Explosive Trap or Implosive Trap, which does exactly the same thing. High Explosive Trap hurls a fire trap, knocking all enemies away, and this fire trap knocking all enemies up. Alright, so you can have a knock away at a 40-second cooldown or a knock up at a 1.5 minute cooldown. So they are the main changes. We've been given the knock up AoE stop that we've been asking for. It has been put into an Implosive Trap, new spell. Steel Trap is gone. Death Chakrams is gone. Kind of crazy, but fair enough. They've said the notes on this were that it was a launch sequence. So, developer note, one of the biggest complaints we're seeing in the Hunter community is button bloat. Personally, I kind of disagree, but I'll let it go. Death Chakram was a relatively high-frequency button that you had to click before all your other damaging abilities, creating something of a launch sequence for every hunter specialization. Its removal will let us bake the lost power into each spec's kit, while also reducing the button presses required before you can begin damage. Now, I agree with this. I don't necessarily agree with the button bloat situation, but I agree that Death Chakrams was pretty dull button to hit. It was like, I need to push this to get a 10% damage buff every 45 seconds. Now they said they're going to rebalance that power just into their normal kit, and we just gain a GCD, gain a button. I agree with this. I like that. Steel Trap disappearing is fine in my opinion. I never really used it that much. I'm sure PvP would have a different opinion. And then we've had these other changes, and Blackrock Munitions has been put back in so that the balance of damage to non-damage buttons is similar. So, fair enough. Let's go through the other hunter changes. So that's for the class tree. Beast Mastery had a few small things moved around. Alpha Predator and improved kill command. Swap positions. Improved kill command has a new icon. Hunter's Prey and Venom's Bite swapped around. The pathing in Gate 2 has changed. Noticeably, it's changed from these ones. From Hunter's Prey, Venom, Bite, Alpha Predator, and Kill Command, and improved Kill Command. Those are the ones that have changed the most. And the biggest complaint everyone had recently was the Huntmaster's Call. Foghorn sound was annoying, so they have reduced it. We'll quickly have a look at what that looks like for the talent tree. And here it comes. Boom. Now, as you can see, Hunter's Prey, it started off here, it went to here, it's now in the middle here. And then this angle, this used to be like a square where Wild Call connected with Dire Beast. It's now been swapped around so that Hunter's Prey connects in this direction. And the same thing happened on the other side where Improved Kill Command was here, Alpha Predator was here. They've swapped around and had their pathing redirected into the middle. Which in my opinion is all fine. I still think that the suggestions I made to change Venom's Bite and improve kill command around would be good, but you can go see that on the forums or my other videos. Explain what I would like to see with this, but this is what's changed today in the notes, and I think it's all fine and it's mildly better. Everything else in BM is exactly the same, so there's no need to discuss BM further. Because they didn't change anything else. Marksmanship has had a few things happen. Very small things. Arcane shot balancing, game hunter, multi-shot was basically just dealing a ton of damage, and they've just reduced that, right? They've increased its cost. They've decreased the damage given by small game hunter, and apparently they've fixed a bug that was causing multi-shot to deal 20% increased damage as well. So multi-shot has been balanced here. It was dealing too much damage. And the Wailing Arrow situation has been looked at. Wailing Arrow and Rapid Fire will now properly generate wind arrows. Apparently they weren't, and we weren't getting enough Wailing Arrows, as many Wailing Arrows as we should have gotten. Because if you haven't heard yet, Wailing Arrow is now a sort of a passive where we gain a Wailing Arrow instead of an aimed shot, depending on our wind arrow generation. So if you want to find out about that, you can look at my Marksman video from before, but it's mostly just multi-shot has been balanced, arcane shot, slight balancing, and a bug fix here apparently. Now the real interesting stuff has happened with survival, so let's take a look at that, because survival has received the most changes this week's build, and most of the changes are things that I actually suggested, so I'm pretty excited about that. Sikkim has been redesigned. It is basically now the Death Blows effect, which is the sort of catch-all term for we can proc free kill shots. Okay, we've got this reset the cooldown, make usable on targets. This kind of bit of text here, resetting the cooldown of kill shot and usable on all targets, is a bit of a theme in all the hunter trees now. We've got Hunter's Prey for BM, we've got Death Blows for MM, and now Survival has gained it as well. Sikkim was a bit of a strange, bad talent before, and I said it's no good if it doesn't have a Death Blows effect. Well, they scrapped it and they just turned it into the Death Blows effect. It'll mean you can kill shot, and it will strike up to 2 additional targets, and this chance is doubled during coordinated assault. Kill command has a 15% chance to do this. It will have a 30% chance to do this during coordinated assault. So that's cool. Coordinated assault has been completely redesigned. It's actually been reverted to its old design, which is a 20% damage amp. That's all. It's very simple. No more pet basic attacks, buffing abilities. Nope, that's all gone. You charge the enemy. The charge was buffed by 60% for damage, so it's going to feel better to charge now. You're strengthened for 20 seconds, 20% increased damage. And while it's active, you get more resets. And obviously, if you take Sikkim, you get extra chance to do that, but that's a separate talent. So the dev note is coordinated assault's previous iterations have been disproportionately complex relative to its output. Our goal with these changes is to simplify its effects, increase the power gain, and disjoint it from killshot so that you can opt into killshot bonuses as you see fit. We also believe that the increased kill command reset chance will be more broadly appealing with the new talents introduced, meaning tip of the spear, which is correct. So tip of the spear has changed the way survival plays completely into weaving in kill commands and wanting them to reset to gain even more charges tip of the spear. This will help that, and this will delete the need for all the macros that made coordinated assaults play very janky. And they basically said, even if you played it correctly, they're saying relative to its disproportionate relative to its output, they're saying it wasn't even worth it that much to do it. Whereas now it's going to be 20% increased damage. Makes sense. Just very simple. Go for it. Kill things. Cool. Symbiotic Adrenaline has been updated. That is the cooldown reduction of CA talent, and it now makes it grant 3 stacks of tip of the spear, which is a nice addition. So that's CA. Quick shot has been updated now. It's a 30% chance to fire an arcane shot when you cast kill command rather than when kill command resets. This was proccing a ridiculously low amount. It was proccing approximately 10 times every 6.5 minutes. Pretty poor proc rate. And now it's going to proc a lot more often, which is good. More arcane shots and potentially more explosive shots. Butchery's damage increased. Cool bit of shooting there. Butchery was pretty low impact, so now it's good. Here's where things get a bit funky with this. All the changes so far have been like, great change, great change, great change, great change, great change, great change. Now, not so happy with this change. Flanking strike, they changed it into a spender 7 days ago. And it was really strong and really cool. And it went smack and hit things really hard and did some other cool effects and generated tip of the spear stacks and all sorts. What they've done now is turned it into a passive that replaces kill command after kill commanding 3 times. So every 4th kill command passively changes into a flanking strike, which can be castable at 25 yards instead of 40 yards, which is a bit of a problem because now during aspect of the eagle, when you're out at range, you can't weave in as many kill commands beyond 25 yards. It no longer benefits from tip of the spear and generates 15 focus. That makes sense because it is now a kill command. And so let's just talk about these at the moment. So It's not a separate button anymore. It's just kill command, and every 4th kill command turns into flanking strike, and you flanking strike for more damage, and you gain all the tip of the spear situations just like a kill command does. The problem with this is that it's pretty boring for a start. It's only castable at 25-yard range, whereas kill commands is casting at 40-yard range. So at some point, your kill commands will just stop working at ranged when you're not connected to a target. And if you're at 25-yard range, the flanking strike will obviously leap you into melee range, which you also may not want, because it's, you know, potentially dangerous or a bad time to be in melee. You moved out for a reason, right? So this isn't really a good change in my opinion. What they're trying to do is combat the button bloat thing they talked about earlier, reduce a button, have less spenders, and allow you to just flanking strike passively. I think that that's a bad change. I would like to see it go back to being a spender. I thought it was a really cool, interesting spender that hit hard, had an on-demand gap closer that hit hard and felt good to press. I thought it felt good to press. Now, it's just a passive, and it puts me in compromising positions that I don't necessarily want to be in. Then the Flanker's Advantage, which is the extra talent that buffs flanking strike, no longer grants additional reset chance based on your crit strike. Makes sense. It also had a bug causing you to roll kill command resets twice instead of just once. Okay, that's fine. So let's look at this in game quickly. Here it is. So flanking strike, now not a button. You and your pet leap to the target and strike it as one, dealing a total of 230,000. This hits for 70,000. So it's a lot of damage every 4th one, and instead of generating 1 stack, it generates 2 stacks. So let's see this in action. Go over here. Okay, so I'm hitting kill command, hitting some other abilities. Right, kill command. Then I want to like zoom in. Here I am. All right, wow. Kill command. Right. So that one was a flanking strike. Couldn't really tell. Right, this one's a flanking strike too. Look. And oh no, just reset. All right, now we got it. Ready? Boom. I flanking strike then. But because I knew it was coming, and I don't know, feels like if I'm doing mechanics and I jump away, right, and I'm not going to push that during that, right, and I aspect to the eagle, and I'm doing this, right, I'm like waiting for the stomp to go off, and oh, I just leapt into the stomp accidentally. I wanted to kill command then, kill command. Bomb, kill command, bomb, kill command, oosh. Just jumped into melee when I didn't want to. Okay, I feel like this is a problem. That's not what I want my kill commands to do. It doesn't feel any different to press it rather than launching me at the boss, which is pretty uninspiring situation. I don't know. It seems dangerous to me, and it seems not fun to do. Obviously, if I didn't have a macro here, if I just had the regular button, I'm sure it would like light up better. It does. Go back here. It changes to a flanking strike button, but I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to be doing as a survival hunter. I want to be, if I'm in melee all the time, and I'm just glued to the boss, then flanking strike doesn't feel like it does anything, except more damage and I get an extra stack. And if I'm off the boss, because I'm doing a mechanic, I'm dodging a frontal, I'm dodging an AoE around the boss, I'm just going to launch into the boss when I really don't want to. You know, it's just going to be inconvenient at that point, and boom, could kill me. So I really don't like this change. I would like to see, I thought the flanking strike as a spender was really cool, and this is not cool. And then the other big change is that Mongoose windows are now just a maintenance buff. It stacks to 3, it refreshes when you push it, and it lasts 10 seconds. That's it. There's no min-maxing a Mongoose window and spamming Mongoose Bite once you get 5 stacks and build up the focus to do so. That's not how you're going to be playing this anymore. It's basically exactly like Frenzy on BM now. And whereas I didn't like the Mongoose Bite window effects before, I don't know if this is the answer, because you're not going to think about this anymore. You're just going to make sure you push at least one Mongoose Bite every 10 seconds to maintain that buff. And I feel like that's what BM's playstyle is already like. They say here the previous design of Mongoose Fury was rewarding you for pressing nothing but Mongoose Bite in your damage window, while the new tip of the spear is asking you to weave in kill commands. These two designs were pulling your rotation in 2 separate directions, and these adjustments should help to harmonize these two mechanics. I agree it does that, it just doesn't, it just simplifies it, and it's too similar to BM, in my opinion. So that's not particularly great. Then we'll read this note first. We're making adjustments to Survival's action economy and reducing how crowded the rotation feels. Yes, it does. Part of this, reducing the increased access of Wildfire Bomb. Yes, there's too many bombs for the various spec tree changes we've made, particularly through Wildfire Infusion. Yep, there's too many bombs at the moment, and this is reset, less chance, cooldowns, less. Fair enough. Many effects were consuming multiple stacks of tip of the spear. That's been fixed. Spearhead now only makes your pet charge. Spearhead description updated. Spearhead visual and sound effects updated. Okay. So now the charge is on just your pet for Spearhead. You give the signal and your pet charges, giving them a big bleed for over 10 seconds. And you don't charge anymore. Spearhead and Coordination Assault have no links to any specific abilities anymore, so that's a fine change. I would rather see that the charge go off of Coordination Assault than only on Spearhead, but you know, it's only on Coordination Assault, not on Spearhead. Fine. Coordination Assault is simplified. This has been simplified. This has been simplified, and I feel like all 3 simplifications at once make the spec less fun. I would like to see the flanking strike thing completely reverted. I think it's too much to go for it totally passive. I want an on-demand gap closer. I've already reduced my button blow. I'm already missing Death Chakrams. I'm already missing Serpent Sting because that got pruned earlier, right? That is now passive as well, which I liked. But now to have Flanking Strike missing from my bars and Death Chakrams missing from my bars, it really just feels like I'm pushing 3 buttons, maybe a Butchery, maybe an explosive shot. I don't know, it's just not enough now going on. I would really like to see Flanking Strike come back. And I'm okay with the Mongoose Fury situation, but I can see why people would want a bit more complexity in that, because I think that would be good. And then I would like to see no, I'm happy with the Coordinated Assault thing. Never mind that. Coordinated Assault, good. Mongoose Fury, average. Flanking Strike, that's a bit of an L, in my opinion. all the other changes really good for survival. So yeah, that is the hunter changes this week. Not ideal, but definite improvements. All right, good luck. Have fun. Enjoy playing the new Mythic Plus stuff this week on beta. Get into it. Bye.